Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Just Roll It Already. I'm your main host, Daryl.
I'm your other host, Jeremiah.
Also sitting in is Michael.
And John, the rules lawyer.
Yay! Okay, well, we're going to talk about today is the game talk. And the game talk is...
Stereotypes, tropes, and memes in gaming. Now, I would like to make a disclaimer. We may sound like a lot of past episodes, but it's more so we're more focusing on how tropes in games affect not just settings, but characters, and the overall game as a whole. So, note to those out there.
Yeah, and which ones are good tropes, which ones are really bad tropes.
Yeah, like the Dwarven Fighter.
Dwarf Fighter, classic.
Yeah.
The Elven Ranger.
Yeah.
The Loner Hunter.
Wait, Loner Hunter.
The obligatory take item to said destination of Fiery Doom.
Yes.
You meet in a tavern.
You meet in a tavern. That is
a tavern. We've covered that a long time ago.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's my favorite start point.
Rocks fall and everyone dies.
Yeah.
That wizard over there in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
The long beard, long white beard, the staff. You know he's going to give you some kind of narrative.
His name is Old Man.
Yes. I wear a black cloak and I
And
sit in the corner and brood.
And very mysterious.
That's great, but don't spend 45 minutes describing yourself.
But I want to talk about my long black flowing hair and how I have very Mediterranean features.
Yeah.
And everyone
Very
respects
Line
me.
features. Yeah.
Mediterranean, you mean like Italian, like giant nose? Is that what you're saying?
No. But
Okay.
we got to think about, the setting can be, and stereotypes aren't bad, people. Never think that a stereotype is a bad thing. Plot devices are not. Bruce Campbell, a very well-to-do religious scholar and philosopher, did a book called The Hero's Journey. If you are a GM out there, read this book. It will give you the best ideas of your life for a story. It is the best compendium to any story making is A Hero's Journey by Bruce Campbell. It takes how every culture has a sort of cliche hero character. Every culture.
Like the Gilgamesh or the Hercules.
Exactly.
Or
Yes.
The ideal hero.
And they always do the exact same things. They descend to the underworld. They save some obligatory object from some sort of disasterly thing.
Yeah,
Stop
the,
the bad
the hero's
guy.
journey.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, the hero's
classic,
journey.
Classic hero's journey.
And, sure, people are like, oh, that's overdone and blah, blah. Oh, yeah, but you know what? It's good. You know what? Ice cream's overdone, but it's delicious. I mean, that's...
Well,
It's like I enjoy eggs scrambled and mixed with potatoes.
it's great.
Eat it every morning.
while dealing with stereotypes, is there, for each of you, is there a particular stereotype that is involved with games that you disagree with, and what is it?
The one I disagree with most is the person who doesn't want to do anything with the party.
The brooding loner.
The brooding loner is my least favorite kind of person.
I think we're all in agreement
Yeah,
with
we're-
that.
I had a horror story once about.
Yeah, we did. But I have to say that's the one stereotype that irritates me the most because you can't get in the game and no matter what you do, they're going to fight you.
Yeah, that can be very annoying.
Hypersexualized female characters of any kind.
Ugh.
I cannot stand
This helpless, big boobed female that's clothing is falling off everywhere.
well, what do you call them? The sex icon. I can't take them. I
Yes.
cannot take a sex icon. Even a male sex icon cannot. No. I'm sorry. You're not gonna seduce any women today. You're gonna go on this quest. You're gonna take this item. You're gonna like it because that's what the rest of the party wants to do.
Yeah.
Maybe my gripe would be it's kind of contradictory to our discussion, but the super cliche trope, the too cliche. Now, granted, cliché's nice, but when you're too cliche,
Like the human fighter named Rethgif Numa.
or the Elven Ranger who's a carbon copy of the Legolas.
His name is Lego Loss
Yeah.
with an O.
I just plain
And
copy
two
of.
S's.
He has blonde hair.
So you're talking about the people who-
Drizat or
People who
Drizit.
take a very popular icon. Sorry, everybody. Mike had to step out for a family emergency for the time being. We hope everything goes well with him. So it's just going to be John, me, and Jeremiah.
Forgot my name.
Yes, I forgot who you are. Continue.
yeah,
Another trope that you can think about sometimes is I forgot where completely left off. Hold on a second.
I remember. No, actually, I was about to say for those who don't understand what I'm saying by super trope, like super cliche, Drizzt. I'm not just saying cliche. I'm saying super cliche, like the Drizzt character. How many people rolled a Drow Ranger that's lawful
has
good?
two. I think what does he have?
Two
like,
scimitars.
Scimitars.
Two scimitars,
Yeah.
lawful good, Ranger Druid or Ranger Drow. That's
Drow.
Yeah.
It just gets over the top.
It's that's done way too much. I mean, there's a point where a trope is done way too much.
And then you name your wizard Gandalf.
Yeah.
Or Randolph the Beige.
Randolph the
I
Beige.
prefer, but I like Randolph the Beige.
Yeah, well, it sounds like a play on words.
Yeah.
But then there's people who play in other tropes or stereotypes the same character over and over again. Okay, that gets annoying because explore a little. Just explore a little bit. Not people. Okay, every single game You play the same character.
No, I don't. I kind of disagree with that. Like, if it's an original trope, like if you have your own character that's just you and you play it and everything, that's a bit different than stealing like movie tropes or book tropes.
Media trope.
Like, yeah, because it's like my trope is, fighter thugabug, but his name is Badr Threat. Also, I have Urza MacGyver, who is generally some sort of wizard or caster.
So,
That's kind of my thing.
I redact what I say. You know what I hate? People who make a person in real life and they make that a character. Not at fully my character's name is Abraham Lincoln and I am literally Abraham Lincoln. I'm a fighter. I've took a profession of a lumberjack and or a politician and now that right there, that angers me when people do something like that.
So they rip off wholeheartedly.
Yeah, they rip off wholeheartedly. That I cannot stand.
So you're angered at Urza MacGyver?
No, because that's more of a play on words.
Yeah, because it's MacGyver because he can do anything, and Urza because he's an artificer.
Yeah.
It's generally my 3/5 artificers named Urza MacGyver.
But you didn't go my character's name is MacGyver.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't,
I'm MacGyver. No, and I'm going to fix your heart with this piece of toothpaste.
Yeah, a piece of toothpaste, yes.
Yeah. Then you talk about things that people do. I mean, I one time made a trope once of a
Rocks fall and you die?
No, a dwarven fighter named Leroy Jenkins.
Jeez.
Okay. Now, what did he do? He charged into rooms,
Yeah.
taking a meme and turning it into an RP trope.
Yeah.
Okay, that kind of. I'm gonna be honest. I was being a dick. I was being really mean. I didn't like the game master. You should not begin. Oh, sorry.
Well, didn't you also, with that same character, do Hammerstein? Hammerstein.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
right.
that one was mine. Quick gaming story. I played a dwarven fighter named Leroy Jenkins. He ran into the room screaming Leroy Jenkins. But also he had a magical stein that was made of adamantine, and every single time he said Hammerstein, it became a 2d8 bludgeoning thundering weapon.
That's ridiculous.
Yes, and he'd scream at Hammerstein. And he went into a room one time when they in distraction says, "I got this," and he starts dancing around to "Can't touch this." And then this guy comes up to him, he puts his hands up and says, "Stop!" And the guy stops and he says, "Hammerstein," and smacks him across the face. End of gaming story. There we go.
That's actually pretty funny.
It is. It's great.
Stop.
But
Hammerstein.
it's a trope, but it's good. It didn't really,
It's clever.
It's a play on word clever, but the fact that I took Leroy Jenkins from WoW and turned him into a dwarf.
Yeah, but that's just kind of a name.
Yeah, but also the whole thing of screaming Leroy Jenkins into a
Oh,
room.
yeah, that's just...
So, if for instance, if I was in a game with he who shall not be named again, and I was like the GM, and I was playing say Randolph the Beige, and be like, "You shall not be gamed." That's what I do with Randolph the Beige. Now, it's funny and it's not overly burdened to it.
I like to yell, "Have at thee."
Have at thee. Yes.
Have at thee.
A bit of Monty Python there, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of things.
A lot of things, yeah.
Have at thee,
Or you just
From the
taking...
depths of hell I stab unto thee.
Yeah, okay, if you want to go more literature, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of funny things you can take a look at, like famous lines. Like for famous lines, how could you make a character out of a famous line from a book or a movie or something?
Have at thee. Like you
Have
just
at
said,
thee,
that's
yes.
a perfect one. Now, always, I never think that it's bad to take ideas from stories. I'm a huge fan of Lovecraft.
Yeah.
I love Lovecraft. I like to introduce the old gods from Lovecraft's story, the Cthulhu mythos, into my stories. I love Cthulhu.
Faster. Oh, we're all gonna die.
I love Cthulhu. I would marry him or her or it. Obligatory, ambiguous gender, whatever. I love Cthulhu.
It's not the fact that they have tentacles, you otaku.
Yes, it is. I have a schoolgirl
Cthulhu
outfit.
can't love.
That's
Cthulhu cannot love because his
Cthulhu in himself, though, he's become a trope or a stereotype.
right.
Well, he's became mainstream.
yeah, but
He
he's
is.
way too mainstream.
He has become a really
We're like
incredibly
gaming
mainstream.
hipsters here. We're just throwing our glasses and...
And the Cthulhu trope that's being thrown around is
Galactus. He is Galactus.
Yeah, he is Galactus. He's
The end all.
He's a end all, but he's evil.
He's
People-
the last raid boss.
Yeah, people think that he is evil, but in reality, if you read any of the literature, he's actually his
Force of nature.
motives they're unfathomable to human beings.
Yeah, he is.
Human beings cannot understand
What his connection to
motive.
us is we're bacteria compared to a person. It's
kind of.
really, but digressing
Yeah.
from the beauty of Cthulhu.
We're taking mainstream icons.
The horror, though, in it. The horror is very good for settings.
Oh yeah, taking Cthulhu mythos, it's great horror setting.
Well, also another thing is you take about the whole tropes and cliches and memes and whatever that we throw out. You can, as you said, the settings. Yes, there's a lot of settings you can go on. You can go from this world setting, or you can sit there and say, oh, well, I'm going to play Star Wars using a D6 system that I made myself.
Use the Dark Crystal world.
Yeah, Dark Crystal.
Dark Crystal's a fantastic universe to like use as a world. Like, it's crazy.
I'm surprised not a lot of people get the rights to print it as a game.
Oh yeah, right. That would be great. Yeah. Skeksis, things like that. I mean,
Yeah.
people do references to it. If you ever played World of Warcraft in the Burning Crusade expansion, that is a huge reference to like the Dark Crystal with like the Skeksis and.
Would you guys, like, quick questions? Would you ever run a World of Warcraft game?
Why?
Yeah.
Just why?
Because
Well, it's
I look
lore
at
heavy. It's super lore heavy.
Well, you could, true, but if you got to run it from like the first war.
let's say that we take World of Warcraft, the online game, and you try to use that world because everybody knows that world.
Okay, the world, sure, but you can't. You don't take any of the game mechanics because.
No.
Let's just face it. The way the online game is, it's like.
What you would do is you would use D&D, and then you would use World of Warcraft lore. And
what would you feel? Because some people know that world a little bit too well.
I probably know that world a bit too well. I know I would be able to do such out-of-character knowledge on characters, it would be ridiculous.
Yeah, but if you're a good DM and if you're deciding to run it, you're going to know when they're trying to use out-of-character knowledge. They're trying to use player knowledge.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're not going to be running with... you're not going to save...
You're not going directly to that area.
You're not going to save Sylvanas from Arthas during
or if
plague.
there's like a particular, like if you walk out to this desert and you spin around 3 times and you walk north to this rock and you kick it, it summons like a magical item. Like, there's no way in hell you would have known that unless you used out-of-character knowledge or something. Like,
Wait, what?
No, I'm saying, like, how would your character know that? Like, it's,
John's like, I'm going to get on World of Warcraft right now and do that.
like, how would you know that? That's
I'd
things
actually
like
probably
that.
I'd probably email all my friends who still play. So my account's currently off because I was like, I don't want to make a panda.
So, guys, do you know that if you go to Silthius and you do that, that's what happens? Like, that's...
You make me think that it's actually a thing, but I know it's not.
Okay, but getting back on track.
Yeah.
All right, any other things that you think about when it comes down to these...
Stereotypes, tropes, and
all this stuff.
Yeah. Like I said to all those GMs, don't think of a cliches as a weakness or a crutch. They can, they're salt. They're salt to a meal you're cooking and really add a bit more flavor. If you are having a hard time making it taste better, throw a bit of salt on your food.
Just don't do too much.
Oh, yeah, if you do too much, it's horrific and unhealthy.
Yes. Cardiac arrest.
I really enjoy the tropes themselves, but I don't like tropic worlds in that sense. I like to have some originality in the continents and the way the world is built.
Yeah.
Like, I can't have 2 islands surrounded by ocean, and that's the whole entire world because that's kind of a thing. Can't really do that.
No, like, you don't want me to take like World of Warcraft world,
it's like
Dark Crystal world,
the one who's
and
it's the world of Azeroth, and it's like no.
I just take like 3 different fantasy settings and mush them together.
I would really like to see someone design a world that hasn't listed out an entire ecosystem.
I'm probably sure there's some people who are that in depth.
I will do that. I will do that.
I am slowly doing that with my Frenia campaign.
I'm talking about down to plant.
No, I'm getting down to that's actually I have an explanation of why there's no salt in the oceans.
How about when you sit there and you take a look at the tropes? Because a lot of people who take the tropes of their fantasy worlds and so on, they like to kind of compare it to our own.
Yeah.
Like a lot. I mean, you have
Could you elaborate on that?
Okay, like our cultural regions. In the East, there's the Asiatic cultures of many different kinds.
There's always something that's pulled from.
I do that heavily. Like, you guys know I'm a huge...
Okay, if you sit there and you do the biome regions and culture regions of the entire world, okay, let's see the small island in the east, of the far east of this thing. They're a diehard warrior culture
It's Japan, right? It's
Yeah.
Japan?
Yeah.
It's called...
Zinjo.
It's Zinjo, the land of the jade. It's wow, that is...
And to them is the giant culture of Ina. They are very big and small people.
Oh no, and there's like this island there's like an apocalypse of islands, a chain of islands that is made of say Pacific Islander kind of culture.
Oh, like Polynesians.
Yes, Polynesian type culture, and it's like, well, if you have the kind of strain of islands that have that, it's like, well, that's kind of cliche to real world.
The king's name is Kamehameha.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, then you have all those things going on. Well, what about if you maybe sometime talk about it? Try to make something so foreign to people that they don't understand the cultures entirely at all.
You could try combining tropes. Like if you really combine Scottish and Japanese culture, It's a juicy contradiction, but it works. It works.
So we have a bunch of
Kilt samurais.
kilt
Yes.
samurais walking around with overly sized swords
Yes.
and wacky hair
Yep.
with anime references.
That's it. Makes
They're,
it right
they're
down
all
to
No.
Goku in kilts.
Not kilts, maid uniforms.
Oh,
God, why? No.
that are plaid.
Yeah,
That
that
are
are plaid. They're
Yes.
schoolgirl maids. There
Yes.
we go.
They
In
have
Scottish
like one
accents,
half of it, like part of the chest is like cut off, so
Yeah.
it looks like still like it's a throw over, like
Yeah,
a toga kind of.
exactly.
It's like ugh, and then
Konnichiwa.
No.
konnichiwa.
Coon. Anyways, but that like right there, you just take two like overly done tropes, human
And just
culture
smash
overly
them
done.
together into some sort of weird bastardization.
Well, sometimes a bastardization comes out really well though if you take already intellectual properties and things that are already done, established properties, and combine them. Then it'd be really good. I mean, I've loved World of Warcraft. That's what World of Warcraft is. They took like Lovecraft, D&D, and like a couple other stories.
I think as soon as the
Cthulhu.
well, yeah, Cthulhu, and then there's even the Forgotten Ones.
Yeah,
They're
they're called the old gods. They're called
The old gods, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell, that's a direct reference.
Yeah, it is,
I'm
and
surprised Lovecraft doesn't come back from the grave to haunt them and then
exactly.
re-
Herbert West Reanimator comes
Yes.
back and like takes them.
reanimates the creator of his story to take vengeance upon them and take their money.
No,
Anyway.
but it's a perfect example. Like that whole like Warcraft story, it takes a bunch of different stories, combines them, and I think it makes a beautiful menagerie and mishmash story.
Yeah,
Of
because it feels
awesome.
like there's different elements at work in the world.
Well, overarching theme-wise, yes, because it makes it feel like it has a diverse world, and maybe a bunch of mythologies could be true.
Now that's only by a lore standard, like in the lore.
Yeah.
Now in the game, though, if you had played it, they have like references everywhere, and it gets really annoying. And that's
Yeah.
like as in a DM, like a GM, if you're going to GM a story and like, oh, the NPC's name is Molly Poor. Or Solly Poor. It's like, no, I kill him. Is he an important quest NPC? I don't care. He's dead. He dies tonight. Like he's not going to survive.
Okay.
Right.
What about memes? Like throwing out other memes? Like, okay, I threw up my Leroy Jenkins thing.
All right, so we're accosted by a cat, and as it's eating the gnome, it says, "Iden has gnome," like that kind of meme. Like
Yeah, throwing
That's a little bit weird, but okay.
yeah, like that right there.
My Ken has no. Oh, my face. Oh God, it's eating my face.
See, right there, I would hate that. That would it would ruin my immersion if you
Yeah,
threw out
and
memes like that.
then we see like this whole like quest giver thing going on, and he says, "There's this. You must save the princess," and you say no, and you see the forever alone face pop up in his head.
Yeah, or
Just tears.
as someone or the troll comes up and it has a troll face.
Yeah,
Going
the
from
meme.
house to house, spraying liquid death. There was no lulling that day. Only OMFG.
Yeah.
Yes, the whole like
OMFG.
Yes.
Yeah.
meme and meme 3.5.
Yeah. Exactly. You really need to avoid. You should always classify the differences between trope, stereotype, and meme. A trope sometimes can be a meme, and a stereotype can sometimes be a meme. But memes themselves can be toxic to a game setting.
Yes, because they're just a lot of memes are just ideas that spawn in people's heads late at night while tripping on shrooms or acid.
It's randomness.
Just randomness. And then your tropes are generally a story element, not necessarily a setting or anything like that. They are a story element.
Well-
very specifically.
well stationed and beforehand thought out plot devices.
Yeah, and stereotypes are kind of like settings and players.
Yeah, like that have been overly saturated in
Yep.
a bit. Yeah.
Well, if there's any closing thoughts on this topic you guys think about.
I will sound like a broken record, but budding GMs out there, do not be afraid to use tropes and stereotypes or cliches, and to a small extent, memes. Don't think your players are going to be like, oh, he's an unoriginal hack. No, sometimes, like I said, it's like cooking a meal. You can make it a good meal, and if you want it to have just a little bit more flavor, throw a bit of salt. That's what these are. These are salt and pepper. Just throw a little bit. Not too much, but just a bit.
I like tropes and memes, but they have to be kind of original. Like make it your own. Make it your own trope, your own meme that you're bringing to the table, because then it adds your own flavor to especially if you're a player, it adds your own specific brand to the game. DMs, if you got something specific, a quirk about yourself, even you can throw it in the game, but it's subtle, just the way you say things, something of that nature. Yeah, just as long as you make it your own, you own it. When you add a stereotype or a trope or a meme, you have to own it.
Mine probably go out to players. I like to kind of like throw a joke into a character sometimes, just take something funny and everyone can get this character and I say a line or something. But even having the little catchphrase, or even you take a look at a movie thing, like, for example, I'm playing the Goblin Bland and Boring. Okay, that's a guy I created as an NPC, and ever since then, everyone loved him because he was
Bland and boring.
so bland and boring. Why?
yeah.
Because, he was an incredibly dramatic backstory, that's for sure.
He's the butler from Addams Family.
He was actually more of a mobile Lidman's.
He was a bag of holding that could move.
He was a Lidman's chest.
Yeah, he's a Ludeman's chest.
You
Yep.
just give him things and he disappears.
Yep.
Okay, but even then, even as a player, sometimes just take what you create,
Secret
or
chest,
even
so it's-
take something and twist it to the point Leroy Jenkins Dorf, and make it your own. Just have fun with it. Even as a GM, you can just do anything. There's not much I can say about it. So anyways, I think that will wrap it up. I am your host, Daryl.
I am your other host, Jeremiah.
And I'm John.
And we have our awesome friend ghost, Mike, who has disappeared, but
Ooh, I'm the ghost of Mike. No,
And I'm Mark.
no, but seriously, Mike, he's away for the time being. But
Yeah.
we have to acknowledge him as
Yes.
our brother in arms.
Yes.
the war against unoriginality.
A moment in silence for our fallen comrade. Okay. Anyways,
Right.
like, comment, subscribe below. If you have any comments, if you have any conversational material for us that you want us to hear,
Just roll it already at gmail.com.
yeah,
Or comment below.
yeah,
We
something
will
like that.
very much appreciate it.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So,
I fail.
No, it's fine. Let's.
Blah.